clarification. If NATO is a defensive alliance and these troops, if they are activated, are defensive and therefore frontline NATO states, how does this protect Ukraine? How does it stop Putin from going into Ukraine?
It's designed to reassure our NATO allies, Jen. It's designed to reassure our NATO allies. And we are taking, and we are...
How does it protect Ukraine?
Jen, it sends a very clear signal to Mr. Putin that we take our responsibilities to NATO seriously. And we are also working inside the international community to implement severe consequences for Mr. Putin if he were to go again into Ukraine. Largely those are of an economic consequences. So I get where your question is. I'm trying to be very clear. This gets to Barbara's question about what success looked like. We obviously don't want to see another incursion in Ukraine. We are using lots of levers to try to communicate why that would be a bad thing for Russia to do. But number two, and it's not an insignificant number two, is to make sure that NATO stays unified and that NATO, our allies, are able to defend themselves. And that is what this decision is all about. It's about putting these forces on a heightened alert in case NATO needs them. David.
Is there a process by which this NATO response force is activated? Does there have to be a meeting? Is it a political decision, or is it just a tactical military decision? What is it?
I mean, well, it's a NATO decision, David. I'd refer you to NATO to go through the puts and takes of exactly how that decision gets made. But I'm sure it's going to have to be one where all the allies are consulted, and it's a political military thing. I think I better just refer you to NATO on the specifics of it about how they activate the NRF.
Does it require unanimity?
I'm going to refer you to NATO. I'm going to refer you to NATO.